levels are correct, and they're filling up, even the French. The French only added a guard and a couple leaders, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 French dead. Anyways, the Navy, well, we have to do something about that. Attack. We're not going to try to run the blockade. Remember, if you don't run the blockade, you don't have to attack one squadron at a time. So right there, and these, let's send 2 squadrons out, move them to there, and I think I'm going to send one to Corona and blockade it. So the Spanish morale is going to be 0, and the French morale is a 1, and the odds are 3 to 2, so we will subtract 1 off this dice, and it becomes a 3. The larger force, which is the Spanish, at 3 to 2 has a D result, and their total strength points will be 3, so they lose 1 because it is damaged. The French, who were the smaller force, has to retreat, and they will receive a damaged 1. I'm going to put them right here. We're down to 2 ships, but guess what? They held the transports. Good move on my part, I gotta say so. Let's go to the attrition. Again, it's winter. It's going to be 2 to the dice. Now, you don't have to roll. 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 This should be the only one. Yep, let's roll. Wow, another 1. We don't lose a guy. France, if you're under 5, it's winter, but they're French or French satellites, you're good. And any of the satellites that are in their home country. Let's roll for that one. Attrition. And it's a 2. So, man, we made clean with all the attrition. Nice. French production was normal, and we have another squadron in there, just like the English do, and they have 1 naval point. So they get another 1 for 2. If I use 3 land, I can expend all of that and get the squadron on board. That's what I want to do. Alright, we got to get rid of the Spanish. I'll come back after movement and stuff. We just decided to surround Castanos. We cut him off of supply, but I'm only attacking this. He goes in the city. He's doubled to a 2. And then I do want to attack in the mountain hex this other Spanish army. Now he's demoralized by 3, and I'm unsupplied, so I only have a 2, and he has a 3. It's a 3 to 2. He's the larger force. He's a 0. He has 1. I'm a 4. So I get to subtract 3 off this dice at 3 to 2. And they rolled a 9, which becomes a 6. And it's 1-1. He loses a man. And his supply is also cut. And therefore I choose the retreat. French lose 1. And I think I want them this way. I don't want them to really take Oporto. And we are actually back in supply. We have 2 Spanish forces that are unsupplied right now. This one's going to be back in supply. We'll take it off during his turn. Can't get rid of these demoralizations. We finally rolled 1 there and knocked that down by 1, that unsupplied unit. But That's it for the French. Let's go to the English. English naval. Well, you know what we're going to try to do is run that blockade. Oh my gosh, looks what happens. We run the blockade. Doo, 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 doo. See what's best to do with that English fleet right now. We could go blockade this. You can't get troops there though. Those are all captured already. Yeah, we don't want to get blockaded again, so let's stay in the water. I mean, we can go fight. You might as well, huh? Yeah, let's go into the Straits of Dover. Might as well take advantage of a battle. So we will go in the same hex as these three ships. Actually, it is 3. No, it's 3-2. Morale of 1, morale of 2. So we get to add 1 to this dice. And the English are back out in the water. And it becomes a 5 on the naval roll. Larger force is nothing. Smaller force sinks a ship. And total strength points are 3. And 2 will be damaged. Wow, good hit. So we'll sink this one. And we're going to damage these 2. A good move there. We just hurt them. We sunk a French ship and damaged 2. Good job. Okay, we're in the same hex. We'll come back with after builds and everything. So far, I just had Castanos move out. I wanted to get them to Corona, which is a supply source. Now to force march here, the odds were against him. He had to add 3 to the dice because of winter, out of supply and being in Spain. So he got to there. He's still unsupplied. This force is demoralized by 3. It's only a cavalry. And I'm going to there. I think Halifax is good where he's at. So I'm buying more militia. To reinforce him. I want to put one on Madrid and another partisan, because what I want to do is attack these guys that only have 1 on them. This one will attack though. Your morale is 2. Morale is 0, so minus 2 off the dice, 1 to 1. Wow, it's a 2. You kill a cavalry, I believe. So this partisan dies, and so does this French cavalry. It's a good move. And the other partisan is right here, same thing, 1 to 1. Is a 9 minus 1 off the dice, right? This is 8. No, minus 2 off the dice. So that's a 1-1. Now those are expensive for the Spanish. But that's why I put a bunch of men around here, because no matter what, this is the supply source in this city. And then I had guys all around here to transport it. So this time the French stay in supply. Instead of putting the 2 militia there, I want to separate them. I want to put 1 there. And 1 there. Right, we got to make them fight for every city they're going for. Because Wellington's back. Okay, up there Wellington came and we decided to hit London, and since they were out of supply, I retreated them that way. So that's about it. I was thinking about moving the Spanish ship with the English, but if I keep him there, his transports can't move again. So we're really putting the Spanish there really helped them out. And the English repaired their damaged ship, but because I used them and I moved them, he couldn't get them, so they wasted that production. Yeah, that damaged ship right there, so we couldn't get that. So we are in February, and in February I finally converted an English ship in the production phase. An English prize will be converted, and I will start building another one. So I'll come back after the French turn and just tell you what's happened. Well, I'll probably show you the naval battle. Okay, so I brought this one, went 1, 2 combined with the force there, 3, 4 in the same hex as the English, and then I brought the other 2 over and went into this hex. So we have 2 battles going on here. This one's going to be 3-2, French's favor. You can subtract 1 off the dice. Archer gets an R with 5 ships, 2 damaged. So they retreat back to a friendly port. We'll go to Le Havre, and the smaller force is damaged, and they also will damage 2 more.
Now theoretically, I jumped too soon on this battle. Once the French force moves into that zone, it could be intercepted by that English force. Now the Spanish ships will not intercept at all, but the English could, and they chose not to. That's all fine and dandy, and then the French went into that hex to attack it in the combat phase. But then I brought in the second set of ships, and they entered that zone to attack the Spanish. Well, the English could have came out and intercepted those other 2 French ships, and I failed to do that. So just making mistakes here, but I try to keep them down to a minimum.
They stay there, but now their morale's going to drop by 1 because they have more damaged ships there than regular ones. That's going to be rough. Okay, this next battle. This time the French get to add 1 to their dice. 4 becomes a 5. And that is larger is damaged. There's only 2 ships, so we have 1 damaged French there. 1 damaged French, 1 is good. And the Spanish, 5. Oh, we round up. That's right. Sorry. The French get to add 1, so it becomes a 5 at 1-1. Yeah, it's still damaged. And the Spanish have to retreat. And on the retreat, they lose 1. So they're losing another 1. And this time, they got to retreat. And this time, we're going to pursue. Let's see, we need a 5 or a 6. Oh, we got it. We're attacking now. 2-1. Add 1. Oh no, I don't have the add 1 because we have 1 regular, 1 damage, so the morale here is also 0. So it stays a 4 this time at 1-1. And this time we have the damaged again, which will damage another French. And this time the Spanish lose it. So the Spanish done their job. They did what they were supposed to do. And now we just have that English to deal with. But since there are unblockaded English ships there, the French can't move across, and the transports can't move any across because the movement's done. So we'll just move the French around in Spain, do some movement up there, and we'll go from there. Now I chose not to buy the English fleet last turn because they have to go in the port of production, and it was blockaded, so I didn't want to put the ship there, and I was hoping the French would leave, and sure enough, look, I forgot all about it, and I just wanted to go attack the English ships. I took every ship off. Now the English are going to build a ship when their turn comes. They're going to have another ship in that other port that the French have to deal with. Now my batteries have died, but I'm still playing because it's pretty crazy here. Wellington just defeated, there's only a couple French left here, like one, I think, maybe two. And there's two left there. They almost kicked them off the island. There's that. But I decided to take Wellington and get rid of this hex, because if the French want to come across and attack, then, I mean, they can't walk across there, I'm assuming, if that hex is occupied. They're going to have to use transports. Well, the English in the Navy phase, I left this blockade and went and blockaded the transports. These tried to intercept and missed. So they're there. The French did get last turn one English squadron transferred to their force. And this time, since we had captured a transport, it only takes 1 month, so I'm producing that one. So next turn, the French are going to have an extra transport, which is what I desperately need. And then what I bought with the English, of course, is another squadron. And then the Spanish down here, this is crazy. The partisans took out another man there. The French had taken Madrid again. Halifax came over with 5 men, and they lost all these men twice. The French got 0 losses, but they finally defeated the 1 cavalry that was there, so they took that back. Messina's unsupplied again. These 2 forces are demoralized by 3. I can't get them undemoralized unless I get enough forces over there, or I keep trying to roll for them. Castanos made it close to Corona, so he is now back in supply. And the French, I mean, are having a tough go at it here. They're having a tough go at it there, and it looks like England is hanging on. So what a game. This would be a awesome game. We are going to start, I believe, March. Yeah, we're going to start March. So I brought out the French fleet, picked up the 2 damaged, picked up only 1 there because there's 5 damaged ships and there's 6 good ones. So I get to use the regular morale here of 1. And the English have more damaged than good, so their morale drops from 2 to 1. So it's an even up battle.
I can't believe this. I'm doing the video, and the next recording I started, it wasn't recording. But anyways, the French won the battle, and so here is the second battle, because the French are going to pursue now. Oh, can't believe it. Anyways, that was an exciting battle, because that was going to determine again who controlled the seas.
Okay, let's try the pursuit as he retreats. And we get the pursuit. Now it's another 2 to 1. And it's a 5 this time. Their force is 0. Small is K. Naval units sunk. And only 1 damage because there's only 3. So the English lose another one. And another 1 damaged. That means, wow, we are wiping out the English Navy now. Okay, looks like we'll end this video here. It's going to be starting the April turn. And the French have complete domination of the sea. I've never seen that happen. Probably played this game, with the Navy, meaning the campaign, 5 times. So 1 out of 5, I've seen the French succeed for the first time in the Navy. But Wellington does have a handle here. But now that the English Navy's gone. The one ship they had, I came down there and put it in Gibraltar. Since the French have no ships in this side, I used a transport to drop off one of these men here to supply this. We took that last city, or Porto, in Portugal back. So Portugal is at full strength, and there's nobody inside its own country now. And it can start building regular troops again until it's invaded. The Spanish, you can see it's really fun. I like playing the militia, the partisans. You just buy these partisans, and the French, if they're leaving 1 or 2 men somewhere, you just use the partisans to attack them. And then right away, as the French were heading down here, I just built 2 militia there. So right here we have battles with the armies going, but every force now is demoralized by at least 3. We did get a demoralization 1 off one of these forces, this one right here. That's why I moved them up there. And then we'll just keep going at it there. But now that we have this handle, the transports and stuff will, Wellington's blocking that cross right there, so we're going to have to use transports, unload either in Dover or over there, or invade one of these hexes. We're just going to do it now. We have the power. I'm blockading the English ship there. That's why I'm there, but I would really like to land there with my transports. Now this is a French transport. We had built it. Now last turn I haven't attempted to repair prize. I'm kind of low on production. The force pull for the French is building up now because of Spain. Let's see. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have like 10 infantry in there. We still have the guard infantry that we added to the force pull at the beginning of the year. I couldn't build. We have a destroyed ship. We have 2 cavalry. So the Eugene has been captured by the Spanish, and I still have Nelson and Uxbridge captured by prisoners. Now we did a prisoner exchange, 1 infantry, 1 cavalry at the beginning of the year. I gave Britain back a cavalry, they gave me a French infantry, because you're allowed to exchange at the beginning of the year as best even as we can. So a lot of those dead are going to be coming back here. I think I have enough men up there to deal with the English. But the English pull is pretty big too. 3 men, a cavalry, and a bunch of ships. So the next video, and also the French have been rolling a couple times on the alliance table to get Sweden on the French side, and they did. So the Russians had to take some men and put it in Sweden. I decided to do it now, and that gives me control of the Baltic minor states. Now the Russians, if they want to, they can, I didn't move that marker, they can go fight Sweden, but it's not as easy as one may think. It can be rather difficult. And the reason I wanted to change the alliance is because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because in 6 turns the Russians are going to be neutral, and I can roll for them on an alliance table. So I thought it would help if they were at war with Sweden. So we'll see. Anyways, very interesting game, this one. I don't know if the English can survive without their navy. I highly doubt it. So we have the 2 French transports. We have the Danish transport, and we have 1 captured English transport.